I went to the hospital and then they did the blood test. And so I was sitting there waiting for the results. I'm like, wow, ball. So when this guy comes in and he's all smiles and I had my answer. So I'm there drinking.
Hi guys, my name is Catherine Kiboi and welcome to this conversation. As I had mentioned in our previous video, that we will be having conversations on girl moms or mom girls, whatever you prefer to call it, because life has been like there's so much speed with life. Hakuna mtu anataka prepare for the next step. You're a girl, the next minute you're told you're supposed to know how to cook, the next minute you're supposed to know how to be a mom, you're supposed to know how to do this, you're supposed to have a career. There's so much in it. And in this segment we are talking about motherhood. A girl mom, and especially as I insist and many of us try to say, is that you are a girl before you are a mom. So we want to encourage the spirit of always being yourself and being honest about how you feel as a girl around motherhood, and not make it difficult for people to have conversations around how difficult motherhood can be here and there. All right, so I'll let my guest, our first guest, introduce herself into this conversation. Hi.
Hi, Catherine.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Introduce yourself.
It's such a privilege to be guest on 001.
001.
001.
Yes.
Hi, people. My name is Irene Wanjuku. I am a girl, then I'm a mom, and I'm so excited to be on this segment today and hold this conversation with you.
Ah, nice. How is motherhood?
Exciting.
It's exciting.
Well, I don't know, it's a mixed emotion. There's the good part, there's the exciting part, there's the fulfilling part, but then it's work.
It's work. You know, I was watching another video. People have unrealistic expectations when it comes to women.
Yeah.
You're supposed to have a career, have something going on in your life as Irene, and then have something going on as a mother.
Yes.
How many kids?
One.
Okay. Okay. Hoping for more.
Hey, wakati wa Mungu.
So yeah, it's about having the comfort of saying, yeah, it gets hard and it's also amazing at the same time. We have moments in our careers, sengine na mkanga niko like, do I have to go to work?
I know.
And then there are days niko, kwani sirudi kazi, ni weekend, na ngojea Monday. I'm so excited about it. So right into it. Hatuta waste time, small talk and everything.
Yeah.
Gen Z wametufunza, go straight to the point. Anyway, so I'm going to ask you, were you prepared for motherhood? Like, do you plan, I want to have this kid right now?
I tend to say it was, it's a yes-no situation.
Yeah.
Because my partner and I had really discussed. You see, you're dating in a relationship.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, how many kids are we going to have? When do we want to have them? So that conversation had already taken place. But the when was not certain. So when we became that at the point where now we are expecting a baby, I was like, oh. I think I was not ready initially because now there's a lot of adjusting to do, and at the same time I think I was in a new job. I just actually joined my new workplace. So now there's building your career, and now there's being a wife, and now there's being a mother, and now there was just being me trying to live my 20s since now I'm a young person.
So you've let me cut you short, sorry.
Yes.
You've mentioned something about there's you being a mom. You didn't expect to be pregnant at that time. So umejua niko na ball. Were you married?
Well, we had not formalized.
You were living together?
Yes, we were just living together.
So you were living together, or you were married mentally but not officially?
Tulikuwa tunaona hii ya Kenya. So we were living together, yes. So now when the baby came, we had to do it official. Now involve parents and the whole society.
So kuna kitu huwa na realize it brings a lot of issues, especially kwa relationship, when people are like, I think I'm tired of this relationship and I want to leave it, but there is a child involved. Yeah. And then you ask someone, when you got married, why did you get married? And most people wanasemanga, mi nilipata ball, we were dating, and it was okay. So like,
so it just felt right.
It's like, it's consensual, but at the same time, it's not like you consented to the marriage. Yeah. It's like the baby made you get like inakuharakisha. So were you ready for marriage? Before even being a mom, were you ready for marriage?
I think about being ready for marriage, I feel like I was. all along, even I think my classmates from campus will attest, I used to say that I'm in this career, yes, but I think my focus will be more of a family mom than a career woman.
Oh, nice.
So I think in terms of being married, ready for marriage, yes, I was. But it came in so quickly. You know, like uko prepared kufanya hii kitu, lakini boom, unaamka kesho, you're like, wow. I have always been ready, I've always looked forward to this, but now here it is. So it really didn't get me so off. I felt so lost. I was actually happy, but yeah, it just came in so quickly.
So do you feel like someone would have prepared you better for that specific moment? Because I feel like most people, I won't be gender biased, like most people get into situations that like, I'm not regretting the situation. I don't regret the marriage, but I wish I was a bit more prepared. But how do you get prepared?
No, that's the question.
How do you get prepared?
At what point do you say, and yeah, I'm ready? Now I'm really prepared. I'm from school, I'm ready. So I actually tend to think from my 2 small years of experience, you can never be ready enough.
True.
You can never, like, ufike mahali useme, sasa niko ready. You see, like the guys say, I want to have a lot of money so that now I can be in a position to keep my wife and child and everything. There's that aspect which is very true and reasonable. But then, what amount of money is enough for you to pick up a family? Because right now, my needs maybe I'm in a bed sitter right now when I was on my own, and the bed sitter was okay and sustainable for me. But you see now when a family comes in, you're now thinking a 1-bedroom. When a child comes in and you need a nanny, you're thinking a 2-bedroom.
Yeah.
So there's that point of, when is it going to be enough? So when will it be ready? So there's just that balance. It just feels, go the process, you will sink into it.
All right. Okay, that's interesting. Follow the process.
Yeah.
In due course, uta-adjust. Somewhere in between,
uta-adjust. Systems zita-realign, alafu jipate saa tunasonga.
All right, that's nice. So how you realize you're pregnant, how did you feel about it?
I was actually happy. Funny things. I know, like most of my friends, I got pregnant at 22, so I gave birth at 23.
Wow.
I know, right? So at some point I was like, anyway, no. But the thing is, I always wanted to get married early and get my kids early so that by 30, in my mind space, I knew that after 30 is when I'll now start building my career line after I finished this family phase. It never ends, but at least nitakuwa nimetoka ile stage, yeah. The kids are small, they need that tender love and care, they need me to be there more. Then after that, I can build my career line and my business trajectory after 30. So when I knew I was pregnant, initially, the first question was like, oh, how am I going to break the news to my partner, to my parents? I think that was the greatest dilemma. But the fact that I'm carrying a baby was amazing. Like there's a whole human I'm nurturing inside of me. So it was such a nice feeling.
That's great. Like I love the spirit that you're having. Yeah, I was just happy because honestly, I'm old enough, older than you are, a few years older than you are when you were getting pregnant.
Yeah.
But even at this age of mine, I feel like even if I got pregnant, I'd still be like, oh my God. Not angry,
yes.
Not disappointed, but
yes.
Jesus.
There's that aha moment. Because I remember in hospital, and then I went to the hospital, and then I did the blood test, and so I was sitting there waiting for the results. I'm like, wow, ball. So when this guy comes in and he's all smiles, and I had my answer. So I'm there thinking, he's like, are you excited? I didn't know how to answer. So I look at him blankly and I'm like, yes, I'm just in disbelief. So he's like, are you not ready? I'm like, no, not like I'm not ready, but I can't just believe I'm not going to be a mom because now this changes everything about my life from now henceforth. Yeah.
So like this, you know why I'm interested in this conversation is because I have friends who have kids.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're like, I wish I didn't have this baby. Because from the day nilijua niko na ball, nilikuwa sure. I'm not sure. I'm very uncertain. Kama nataka kuweka mtoto. Siko sure. You know, generally there's so many options. Now, wezi ambia say you should or you shouldn't, depending on your beliefs. Everyone is free to choose and to make a decision about their life, their bodies, and everything that happens to them. But then there's a part where you're like, it is here with me, I gotta do it.
Yes.
So the fact that wewe ulifika hiyo point here, you know what?
Kaende.
Twende.
Yeah.
So yeah, we go straight to the conversation, because now there are people who will have conversations and be like, if I went back in that very moment, I would have made a different decision. And it is allowed.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
it is okay and very okay. So for you, you are like, it's here. Twende. Let's do this.
Let's do this.
So people are afraid of having conversations, because I have siblings, I have friends who are moms.
Yeah,
And sometimes huyu mtu anakuambia sikuje tu ulale kwangu. Ulale na huyu mtoto, mimi niende club. I need a break.
Nikuje nikudampie mtoto and then
hiyo moment ya I need a break. Niende tu mahali nikae chini, nisahau niko na mtu, niko na watoto, nikuwe mimi. Just for a night. It's not like and then the thing is utamwambia sawa, I'll stay with your baby. And then ataenda out and then akupigia after 1 hour. Mko poa? Then kwa nini ulienda? Si uende. Like if you trust me with your baby, si uende.
Yeah.
Like trust me, go have fun.
Yeah.
Enjoy the night. You'll come back, your baby is okay. I'll be here waiting for you.
Hey,
but as a mom, nimerealize kuna hiyo moment ya I'm tired. I need a break. But in that break, you're still like, is my baby okay?
I know, yeah.
Amekula, akupoa, anakohoa, ama amelala, hajalala. Umemchange diaper, you're like,
Amechange diaper ngapi?
There's a time I did that for a friend. Wakaniambia usinipigie simu tena. Ama urudi nyumbani. You need to choose one. Either you go out, have fun, forget about us for a minute. Ama urudi. So there are very uncomfortable conversations that people are scared of when it comes to motherhood. And then there's that moment when people say, the way my mother shouted at me, ungefikiria mimi si wake. But at the end of the day, I still know she loves me. So what is it about motherhood that you really detest? Haupendi kabisa?
Well,
candidly.
Now, that's big.
It's big,
That's big.
but it's real.
But it's real.
Yes, there are things that people sit and say, mimi ningepoa option ya kuendanga tu nitoke hivyo. Niende siku mzima na nisipigiwe simu. Nirudi. I'd do that.
But I think that comes with different stages in motherhood. There's that point at delivery where there's things about that section, that phase of delivery and now trying to nurture a newborn, like the first 2 months, and you'll be like, I don't, like there's that part where you detest a lot of things. Then there's the part of raising a child. My child is almost 3 now.
Wow.
So I may not have like, signs as wetu anaweza sema, mimi raising a teenager is the one thing I detest the most.
Yeah.
But like for me so far, I think the few things like, okay, say delivery and raising my baby to like the first 3 months, I detested the whole, I have to be the one nursing the child every 2 hours because a newborn nurses every 2 hours. Wow. So ataka ni usiku, unajua every 2 hours you have to be awake. And hujazoea. So me, I hated it. Oh my God, I hated it. And then, usiponurse mtoto, utaanza kuambiwa anakuwa dehydrated, you're not feeding the child well, they're not getting their milestones well. And then all eyes are on you. And then worst case scenario, me, I gave birth during COVID. So there was lockdown.
COVID baby.
Where I think the serikali inafai tupe different package ya tulizaa watoto 2020 because now I was all alone. You're not having friends. I'm there calling my friends to come over and visit me, but wata ndio nakata hatutaki kukuletea mtoto wako COVID. So there's that part where I really detested that I am all alone. I'm very clueless. I'm a first time mom. A child is crying. Alafu ndio naambiwa kuna kilio ya kulala, kuna kilio ya njaa, kuna kilio ya ako uncomfortable. And miraculously, I have to know that this kilio, he's crying because he's hungry, he's crying because he's uncomfortable.
But there's no training for that.
And there's no training for that. So in as much as I was very excited, I'm pregnant, I'm becoming a mother, but there's all these stages of motherhood that hit you and you're like, I wish I could just dump this kid to someone. Like at that point, I used to feel like neza pea mtu anilele, anyonyeshe, alafu anirudishe akishaanza kutembea na anakula normal food. Because that every other 2 hours was a bit crazy. And then you're also healing yourself. Because like for me, I had to go through CS. So you're in the process of healing from a surgery and then raising a baby and then you're all alone. It's crazy. But at the end of the day, you look at the baby lying beside you and he's breathing very calmly and he looks very innocent and nice. You're like, oh, I did this.
Oh, it's a baby boy?
Yeah, it's a baby boy. So you're like, oh, it's so fulfilling.
I love baby boys. I don't have any
May you
yet.
get one.
Oh yeah, I really hope that my first one will be a baby boy.
Amen.
As in, okay, let's go back
Yeah.
to process giving birth.
Yeah, yeah.
Delivery, let me say delivery,
Yeah.
because people have nilikuwa na watch process a gynecologist talking about trauma yenye hupitia watu depending on the method you use to deliver.
Yeah.
There is the normal no, they
Vagina,
said we should avoid kuambia watu normal. All of them are normal. There's no abnormal way of delivering a baby. So it is either vaginal or through CS, you know, cesarean section. So how was yours? What method did you go through?
So initially, my doctor and I had planned to go through a vaginal delivery, and it was all okay. So, however, my baby alipitisha. The term date is 40 weeks. Then you're given +2, so a maximum of 42. So on 40 weeks, no sign whatsoever. Then I was told to go home and wait for another 1 week. After 1 week, no sign. So I went on the 42nd week. Then, by this time you're tired, 42 weeks. So,
wait, 40?
So when the day I checked into hospital, they were like, at this point, you'll have to induce you. My friend, never want to go through induction. I would rather you go through normal labor because it's a natural process.
Yeah.
Induction, you're forcing.
You're forcing the body.
You're forcing the labor to be in labor, yeah. So I had to be induced, and yeah, it was okay. I responded to the first dosage. Then it was around 6 p.m. So I was in labor the whole night. Then in the morning at around 3, 4 a.m., 5 a.m., they realized my water hygiene break. So they had to break it themselves. Waka break, then it had, I don't know, meconium, I don't know what grades. No, there are different grades, like baby pooping. So there are different grades they check, whether it's safe, they can go through normal, the vaginal way, or it's an emergency situation. So mine, apparently, it was a bit severe. Na baby afai kumwaga hiyo poop, kumeza hiyo poop. So now weirdly, his heartbeat was going up instead of down. So like his heartbeat shot to around 190 to 100, and it became like an emergency situation. Now the painful bit was I had dilated 9 centimeters, and the maximum is 10.
You were almost there.
I was almost there. I remember I cried for like 30 minutes, and then I'm telling the doctor, I'm almost there. Please give me time. They're like, you're a first-time mom. We don't have history of how long it takes to fika 10. So you don't have an option. And with that, I went for an emergency CS. But now that I know, I would never, ever try going through vaginal delivery.
You know, the funny thing is, why I'm enjoying these conversations is because I'm not a mom.
Yeah.
I haven't been there. But listening to this conversation, I've been with my sister in the delivery room twice.
Yes.
And I'm like...
Oh, she went through vaginal. Yeah. Not you, not your portion.
Not me, but I'm like, does it have to be this way? Like, is it a must?
Yeah.
But then it's life. We let life take its natural course. And then now you delivered via CS. That was not your plan. Did you receive any like backlash? What were like, unajua watu wa CS? So there's a lot of conversations that goes on online. Because sisi wenye tuna researching about childbirth and everything. Tunaonanga hizi vitu tukichagua, will we ever be in these situations?
Yeah.
What will we do? Did you ever receive some sort of backlash about having a cesarean section?
Well, there's two aspects to it. Because I said I delivered during COVID time.
Yeah.
So luckily, there were no aunties and no, I don't know who visiting you and everything.
Yes.
But then, when you get to tell someone you got a baby, and I don't know why, the first question is like, uliza normal ama CS? So it kept intriguing me. Where do you have to know whether I've gone through normal or CS?
I delivered.
Because after that, I became very intentional. Right now, if any girl or woman tells me she gave birth, that is the last question I will ever ask. Because,
does it matter?
Yeah, does it credify me like that I got birth through CS or anything? So there was that part, and it was very common for very many people. Yes, and then people telling you, nyinyi watu wa CS hata hamjui kuzaa. Ati uchungu wa kuzaa ni kupush. Like,
what?
It is equally, I feel like even CS is a lot of work as well because of the recovery.
Yeah, there's a recovery process.
Yeah, the recovery process.
Healing process and
Yeah.
everything, yes. There's something I may want to mention that I do a lot of reading kwa social media unapatanga msee akisema mi sipendi mtu akiniuliza ati are you a CS mom or a normal mom? Does how you bear a child matter? What kind? You're a mom,
Yeah,
regardless.
yeah.
Even adoptive parents,
You're still
surrogate
a mom.
parents and everything. A parent is not supposed to be subjected to how did you get this child? Haifai kukua issue because there's so many circumstances to which people become parents, to which people become moms. We have donors, we have surrogates, we have adoptive parents.
Yeah.
There's so much when it comes to being a mom. So hiyo swali ya kuuliza mtu ni CS ama ni normal? What do you mean by normal? Okay, in the comment sections you guys maybe mnaweza ni explain yeah, what does it mean to be normal? What is the normal way? Because also pia when it comes to relationship, what unauliza you know that's not the normal way of living in someone. Like, what is normal?
Like, what's your benchmark? What's your standard?
Is there an SI unit for what is normal?
Yeah.
You know, what is normal? What do you mean normal? What is normal? Anyway, back to you, Irene, and I'm so sorry. Kuna watu wanakuulizanga swali kama hizo. I can imagine the kind of triggers you get from being asked what kind of a mom are you. It should not determine whether you're a good mom or a bad mom. You're a mom. You delivered. Regardless, tunafaa worry about, are you okay? Is baby okay?
Yes. Especially mentally.
That should be important. Well. Like, are you okay?
Yeah.
Is baby okay? And then ume mention the hardest part, you're healing. You also have a baby who is new to the world. Like by newborn is like mtu ajui nini inaendelea. Yes, they are 9 months old in the womb, but then there is, what the hell is going on here? Yeah. There's light, there's noise, there's movement. Nashikashikwa, I'm hungry. You know, like I can imagine what babies go through. Amezoea calmness, anasikia tu mama yake akitembea. Then all of a sudden anasikia tu mikono tunamshikashika, kidogo anatolewa diaper, kidogo ameoshwa, kidogo kuna kelele, kidogo sijui amebebwa wanaenda wapi, kidogo anafosiwa alale, like there's a lot. So I can imagine mtoi upitia trauma okay, what's going on, anakuwa fussy. And then there's you healing from a scar or a wound or however it is, like your body is at the moment. What kind of a support do you think, if you went back to bearing another child, you'd need that you didn't get?
Wow, that's interesting. In terms of support system, I would say it's extremely crucial for any new mom. Whether it's your firstborn, secondborn.
As long as there's a new baby.
As long as you're not there again.
Yeah.
I feel like support system is very crucial. So at my time, COVID ilifanya maneno. Sasa, I could not have like a mom come into my place.
Yeah.
So now, I had to work with nannies.
Oh, wow.
Now, fortunately, I'm grateful enough. At the time, my sister-in-law was around. So at least I had someone who was family that I could feel like I could easily trust. Kupe mtoto anishikie when I need the relief once in a while. So I think for that I was grateful at the time. But if I'm to ever get another baby, I think I would want every support needed. Nikuwe na mtu wa kunioshea vyombo, mtu wa kunisijifanyia nini, mtu wa kunichukulia mtoto. Like, I feel only like baby girl treatment ya relationship. Like baby girl treatment.
Very, as a mom.
As a mom. Yeah, where your work is only, umenyonyesha sawa. After you're there, there's someone to bath that kid, there's someone to wash. I know it feels extra, it feels fussy. But if that was possible, like for the first 3 months or the first 2 months when you're healing, I would say it's really important for the support system. Because I had to be having a nanny, and then it was in Nairobi zone, so wezipata wale mawana so I had to get from a bureau. I changed like 3 nannies in a span of 1 month.
Wow.
So you can imagine I'm crazy here with nanny drama, I'm crazy with healing a CS car, I'm crazy with a newborn. It was a lot at the moment, but yeah. The support system is crucial. If you have friends around that you can have them, if you have siblings, relatives, at times people say mother-in-laws, if yours is a good one and you'll have a good relationship with her, so be it. I wouldn't choose that. But
okay,
yes.
If you don't mind, maybe you can explain further why.
I just feel she is a mom as well. So it's not in bad faith. They're very good and nice mother-in-laws, but at the end of the day, she's a mom as well, and she's coming into her son's home. So in as much as he's your husband or your partner, he is still his child. Kuna vitu atakuwa anaona ni kama mtoto wake anafanyiwa or something. So I just feel ataona ni kama mtoto wake alishwe vizuri. Now this is what you and your partner have defined in your home works. But maybe for her, anaona haiwork.
Oh yeah, I get what you mean.
There's
like
gap.
She's your mom-in-law. She's amazing. Yeah. But she comes as a mom and as a grandparent.
And as a grandparent,
and you need someone who cuts you some slack on. Give me a break.
Yes, let me do this my way.
Let me do me.
Let me define my.
I guess what you mean. Like not in bad faith. I also get it from my mom sometimes, and I'm like, Mom, unajua mimi mtu mzima. Like I have ways of doing things. I get you. I understand totally.
Yes.
I know you coming in good light with love.
Yeah.
But please,
let me be.
Let me be myself for a minute. I think you make understand. Like from what you say, it makes a lot of sense. So you're saying support system is important. So you've said about your sister-in-law. Does that mean you had a partner?
Oh yes.
Or you have a partner?
Okay, well that's a tricky question.
Okay.
Yes, at the time, yes, I had a partner, but now, okay, things happen along the way. These are very normal, so we separated, but now we are in a co-parenting agreement. So yeah, at the time, my partner's sister was around, and she was very instrumental. So she stayed with me the whole time, I think, for a year plus.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, so she was very helpful to me. And also my partner as well. But now, with men, wanapeangwa paternity leave ya 2 weeks. If I was to ever revise that rule,
it could be longer, right?
Yeah, it could be longer.
Or even, I used to think something like, don't give him 2 weeks. Just make sure he's home like Monday to Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah, give him flexi
or Thursday,
hours.
Friday
give
for like a month.
Flexi hours.
Or give him Friday for 2 months. Like he's home for a weekday. Leave Saturday and Sunday because they're those. And then kuna wale wenye kwa biashara au hata hatuwezi ongea kwa sababu tukisema wakae nyumbani hatutapata pampers.
And by the way, you know the thin line. So at times I used to be very angry that hayuko home. But mimi niko home. Unakumbuka nilikuwa in a new job. So at this time when I go home, my contract ended. So now we really need the money.
True. So you really need the money.
Lazima ende job atutafutie. Lakini pia namtaka nyumbani. Because there are those small nitty-gritties twenye you feel bwana yako tu ni hata understand.
Hakuna mtu ataku get like you.
You remember when there was this craze when Frankie and Corazon shoot a video and then Frankie was wiping Corazon's, I think, ass or something.
After delivery.
After delivery, yeah. Because it gets to a point you need like your partner to clean you up. Kuna vitu siwezi enda niambie mbot ama sijui sister yangu ama nini, but there are those two small nitty-gritties around motherhood only your partner will understand. There's postpartum bleeding and there's all that clean up and everything. So at times you really need him, but you also have to understand he has to go to work.
He has to look for the money.
It's
not even work, he has to bring money.
Yeah, he has to be the provider.
We need diapers, we need insurance, we need rent, we need water, we need all that.
Yeah.
So like Ume mentioned story, having your partner support you like for postpartum issues, did you have or did you carry on any postpartum trauma? All the way from pregnancy, preterm, during pregnancy, after pregnancy, did you carry on trauma yenye inaweza fanya useme mimi sipati mtoto tena? Mimi si labor. You know, people have different experiences. You find someone saying, if I'm getting another baby, there's something I will do differently because you've carried some sort of trauma. Is there any trauma will you carry on from your childbirth process?
One thing I know for sure, if I'm ever to get another baby, I am never going through labor. Hey, Celestine Njugushi's wife saying that hakutaka kusikia the slightest of pain. I'm also that. I don't think I would want to go through labor. Those 12 hours were crazy. That is one thing I know I wouldn't want to go through again. And then postpartum depression, later on is when I feel like I was in it. But at the moment, I didn't know that's what I was going through. Because I would cry and cry and cry. Mimi kama niliwailia machozi yangu yote nililia hiyo time. Huko peke yako usiku, alafu unasikia tu, like now my sister-in-law and my nanny are in their room safely asleep. my partner then would go for night shifts, so I'm all alone in that room. Alafu mtoto ameamka usiku amelia, mimi mwenyewe niko in pain, kuamka kumchukua, kwanza niketi ndio nimchukue nimnyonyeshe abap alale nitafute usingizi tena, like I would cry a lot. It was crazy. So I think I went through postpartum depression. Sadly enough, I remember at around 4 months I actually hated breastfeeding my child, and then I started looking for.
You stopped?
I didn't stop, but I hated it.
You didn't want to?
Yeah, I didn't want to. So I used to, and then I had excessive milk. Na sasa, there are two things. There are moms who don't get milk. And all there are the people like me who had excess milk, hadi inafanya nikuwa na breast engorgement. Like imejaa hadi inakuwa painful.
Because the baby can't overfeed, but at the same time, it's in surplus.
Yeah, it's in surplus. Naambiwa ni express, na feel nime overstore, na niko kwa nyumba, hakuna mali ninaenda. So, like, hata nikachukia, nikuwa na feel leo mtoto amenitesa. I don't know. Now it got to a point I started intentionally looking for support. Looking for moms who are young, because I didn't want moms our age.
People who give you some sort of pressure.
Yes. Nianza kuambiwa, I don't know, those sort of stories. So I started looking for people who are in my age set and maybe going through what I'm going through and will understand me. So until some moms told me it's okay, it's normal. Now that is where you said you feel like dumping the kid. And then
for a minute.
Yeah, they told me
chukueni mtoto muendelee.
Mtoto muache for some time, and then after that like you change the environment for some peace of mind, do evening walks to you know, like declutter your mind and everything. Then at that point I think I was in it. Then I started doing that, the evening walks. I will do evening walks from 5 to 7 p.m. and they helped along the way. Yeah.
So what makes you think you had postpartum depression? And for those who don't know what postpartum depression is some sort of depression and stress. Sometimes hata huwezi jua ni stress, because even when you're on your period, you have it's like some stress. Like you don't know what's stressing you, but you're stressed. And then in that moment, especially as women, because our lives are solely very much dependent on hormones.
Yeah.
Saa ingine uko na stress, mtu akuuliza ni nini? Aki sijui, but I'm stressed.
Yes.
I'm stressed. I don't have, okay, uko na pesa, si pesa, but I'm stressed, you know. So I usually wonder for moms, like, what makes you think you had postpartum depression?
How do I know that? I think there's one, you can get some element of resentment to your child. Wow. The interesting thing why I'm telling you it's a bit intriguing is because it's a very thin line. Like personally, hiyo time ungeniuliza ningekwambia mimi sikupitia PPD, but afterwards when I look back, it's when I'm thinking, I think I actually was. Because no, there was that part of you feeling you're overwhelmed. So I think that would be overwhelmed, you're tired, very tired. There's a far off resentment to the child that you really love this baby, you are excited, you're in the mom life and everything. But then you also feel like this same innocent child is making you go through so much that you had not seen coming. And then there's all this hormonal playing in your body as they try to balance out post-pregnancy. That's why very many people say it's your 4th trimester. Because now there's a lot of adjustment. Yeah, so I think there's all that, and then you'll find there's a lot of crying, and then you don't know who to talk to. So there are all those different, and then how I'll go through postpartum depression will be very different for how you go through as Catherine and someone else. So there could be someone here watching us, but their version of postpartum depression was very different. So it's such a personal journey that maybe for me it was the crying. At around 5-6 months I felt some bit of resentment. I didn't want that. And then, you know, unfortunately, there are people who have very unsupportive environments.
Yes.
So you get someone gets a baby, maybe alirukwa, and then ameenda kwao nyumbani, the mother is like, wewe kwenye ulienda kupata mtoto ungeenda tu ukae huko, umeniletea shida. So there is that part of, if you're also having an unsupportive environment, and probably also stressing financially. There could be some young girl somewhere who is 20 years old, huyu ni mtu labda ako shule, ama ndio anaingia college ama university. So they're very clueless about, now I have a whole human being here whom I need to care for.
Yeah.
And I don't have money, she doesn't have money to afford diapers. Labda hata ana diapers anatumia napi. Lakini sasa hata chakula yake mwenyewe ndio aweze kuwa na milk is also a trigger for postpartum depression. There are very many moms who go through like the first month without milk and the baby has to survive on formula. It's also okay, never feel bad about it, but now the triggers. Society are like, wewe una fail, ama you're a young girl, unakataa kukula ndio usinyonyeshe, sijui you don't want your boobs to sag. You know, there are all these stories where you feel,
yeah, it's too much.
It's too much.
It's too much
You're
for
formula
one
feeding
person.
your child because wewe mwenyewe huna maziwa. Not like you wouldn't want.
You want to.
You want
I'd
to.
want my baby to be
Yes,
healthy.
lakini maziwa haitoki. Sasa unaambia una formula feed. People actually forget formula is very expensive. So if I'm going for formula, I actually love this child so much because I'm using...
I'd choose not to.
Yes.
I'd buy normal milk, you know.
Maziwa ya mbuzi. So there are all these ways of telling that you're going through postpartum depression. But I think the main trigger in you is stress. What's your trigger? I'll tell any mom, identify your trigger. If your trigger is what people say around you, avoid them. If your trigger is maybe social media, avoid. Yeah, just identify your trigger and now know how to balance through it.
Okay, you've mentioned two things, and I'd start with, when you say you don't have someone to talk to, is it that you don't have someone to talk to, or you don't have someone to be honest with about how you feel? You know, you could be having someone to tell, aki nasikia niko na stress, nimechoka. But then kuna kuangana, mimi nasikia nitupo mtoto. Like candidly, you're very honest about everything you're feeling. So is it that you don't have someone to talk to or someone to be honest with?
I think it's more of someone to be very raw about it. To be very raw to the core. Probably you also have a partner who is absent.
Yeah.
All these issues that come about with marriage and everything. And just maybe that's your trigger.
True.
Probably your child has nothing to do with this postpartum depression.
It's a you issue.
It's a you issue with, it's an outside factor, like probably your partner or anything. So who is the right person to be very raw with?
And say, you know, I know what's going on.
Yes. So
yeah.
I think it's good to have like a friend. When I'll call you, Kari, I'm like, hey Kate, leo kumeenda hivi na hivi na hivi. And I don't fear whether you judge
yeah.
or not, whether utaniona aje, like someone I can be very raw and candid and have honest conversation.
Because I've also experienced that when it comes to relationship, uko na shida kwa relationship.
Yeah.
But ukiongelesha besti yako anakuambia hivi ndivyo, kuna mambo like no. Sitaki kuambiwa hivyo, nataka nikwambie mse anakujanga saa 8 za usiku. Alafu imagine what, he doesn't even want to look at me. Ananiongelesha vibaya. Like without you, it's important kama mtu ni besti yako. Listen.
Yeah, listen.
Stop having responses fast. Sometimes unajua kenye utafanya, you just want to talk.
Yeah, and
you don't even want to be told what to do. You just want, I want to call you, tell you, Shiko, mimi acha nikwambie, mahali nimefika, I'm about to move out.
Yes.
Mahali nimefika, no usiniambie anything.
And
then you as a friend, me as a loyal friend, I'll be there like, whatever you want sis, I got you.
Yes, unapack li.
Hivyo ndivyo unataka nifanye, kuja unisaidie kupack, sawa? Because in that very moment, what people should understand, si ati hatujuangi at 100 what we want. We want to vent. And then after you vent, you get another perspective to your problem.
Because that's what may let out.
So now you're like,
at a peaceful point to
make another decision, a proper one, a more sober one. Secondly, there is the problem of people mentioning, umekata kula njahe usinone. Did you, okay, before you got pregnant, ulikuwa na issues za insecurities about your body changes when pregnancy comes? Before you got pregnant?
Before.
Did you?
Before, I think I was just scared of how big I would be.
After?
Yes, after. And then I was very young. I was very tiny. How you see me right now, I was tinier than I was before pregnancy.
Not too tiny.
I was tiny. I was tiny. Then came baby, I added a whopping 25 kgs. So
that's a whole human.
You can imagine how huge I look like. So my biggest thing about like body changes was, how do I shed off all this weight?
Involuntary weight.
Yes, that
sikukula nimekula.
Alafu sasa afterwards umeletewa uji, umeletewa njahi, umeletewa sijui nini, uko na soup. We are supposed to eat 10 meals in a day, and hypothetically you don't need all that.
Yeah.
Like I think it was also to get another baby, I would never ever eat.
So let me ask you something else I've remembered.
Yeah.
When it comes to childbirth, do you feel like ulikuwa unajua umepewa food mingi, but you don't have the grace to tell these people who are supporting you, by the way, you overfeed, stop overdoing it. Is it that you didn't want to, or you felt like it would be an embarrassment for me to tell them that's too much food now and support? Which is it?
That's why I'm saying it's a thin line. Like for me, graciously enough, in as much as when COVID, my mom was within the locked zone. So she's the one who used to bring a lot of food. I think for her, it came from a point of excitement.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a grandmother, so
I
she
know,
would bring and bring and bring. But now, my doctor told me, feed enough food for you.
Yeah.
Kula chakula ni yako. Usikule ukiambiwa ni ya mtoto. Kula yenye ni yako. Kukunywa ndio unakunywa yako na ya mtoto. So like if it's fluids, do a lot of fluids, do a lot of water, do a lot of uji, do a lot of easy black chocolates. Anything that works for you, do a lot of fluids. But now food, kula yako. So my mom is here with all her mukimos and jahes. Alafu amekuja amekaa na mimi amevisit kwangu, tumemaliza 3 hours and I've not eaten anything. And she's like,
Doraria,
you're not eating?
You need to eat again.
Mtoto akiamka unafaa kuwa umepata maziwa. Naambia hata yenye niko nayo haijaisha.
Haijaisha.
He's so tiny, so he's consuming so little at the moment. So there's all that, and hey, please give grace to new moms. Give grace.
Cut them some.
Give them some grace.
I actually understand what you mean. So apart from the weight, anything else?
Traumas, no. I think mainly for me, maybe the weight, the physical changes, it's the weight that took me 2 years to get rid of.
Now, personally, I have an insecurity. It's not even an insecurity, it's people projecting the idea that, okay, for me, I've always been big.
Yeah.
I won't even use thick. I've always been big, like, since birth.
Yeah.
And then you always find people when they're talking about children, they're like, kwanza wewe ukipata mtoto. I'm like, give me a break. Okay, there is that urge to be rude, to tell people, imagine, msinisumbue. Hiyo siku ikifika, mwili ni yangu. I think we guys give a lot of pressure to moms, unrealistic expectations. Oh, you want a healthy baby. Mtoto ako na rashes, nini? Kwani unakula nini? Mtoto anakaa kama ha gain weight. Mtoto sijui nini. Mtoto amepupu sijui aje. Mtoto kwani unatumia diaper gani?
Like to cut you short, like today as I was coming, I was seeing some person who had posted an article online, and she was saying it is important that when you're talking to a mom, use it as a me scenario. Not like, we kunywa koko ndio utapata maziwa. It's like, mi nilikunywa koko, it worked for me. Let me leave you with the pro-choice of thinking, should I try cocoa? Because maybe I've tried cocoa, it's not working. Should I try Milo? Should I try, I don't know, Ovaltine? These new brands, there are very many. So it's that part of talk as me from my own experience. Seti, wewe tumia diaper for mtoto wako. Acha kukula. Because see, you're saying you've been big since you're young. There are people who've been tiny.
And then all of a sudden.
And they get a baby and they still remain tiny. Like a friend of mine was telling me watu walikuwa shinda wakimwambia ati anakataa kukula ndio asinone. Ati ndio asipate. Sasa anakataa kukula asinone and she doesn't get enough milk for her child. So you see there's also that where there are different perspectives.
Yeah.
There's a small person, there's a huge person. There then poor people like us who bulge, and then unaambiwa wewe sasa unakuwa excess.
And then there are big people who also become small in that moment.
Yeah.
Like
it's a whole
your body, you don't choose how your body behaves towards pregnancy, towards childbirth, towards even ovulation. Like for me, I also get ovulation weight. And I don't even eat. Like ovulation week, I don't eat. I have no appetite whatsoever. I just drink a lot of water. So I usually ask myself, now I'm pregnant and my pregnancy comes with zero appetite. What am I supposed to do? I'm forcing, you know. And then I also ask myself, what was kunywa chai, fanya. I don't take milk tea.
I also don't.
Eczema.
I also
and then you find someone is like, ukikunywa maziwa. I'm like,
my mom never used to understand why I'm doing tea without milk. Na nataka maziwa ya mtoto.
But they say chocolate is okay, right?
Yes, so I think what I would say in like to summarize for all this, do you.
Be you.
Do what
and
works for you.
Especially for this conversation, because we've all faced some sort of social injustices when it comes to how we are as people, as individuals. I'm trying so much to debunk the fact that people want you to be them.
Yes.
So this conversation is more of stop asking people to be you. Let them be yourself, and let people stop asking people to be you. If come and Njahe worked for you, I have a friend who told me Njahe was making her constipate.
Mine caused triggered colic for baby.
Exactly. So why are you asking them to eat njahi? This is the most unfortunate thing. Those of us without experience, we know too much. We are the ones who
By the
say
way,
too
moms who,
much.
Not moms, girls who have not had
without.
babies. You hear, like, no, imagine you're there. I've called Kate, she's told me drink Ovaltime. I've called I don't know who, she's told me drink Coco. I've called I don't know who, she's told, and then you're there very clueless. Unashanga sasa, I have 10 different scopes of advice.
And then you're the first person, and it's usually unfortunate for you being the first person in the group who gets a child.
Yes, like
because now everyone wanaona advert. Nimeona Pampers. Nimeona
Huggies. Nimeona sijui kuna Kiss Kids.
Nimeona nini? Nimeona hii sijui inafanya nini. Nimeona hizi. Nimeona hata kuna formula fulani. Nimeona you can drink this,
and
you can do
it's
this.
It's as if they want you to experiment through your child.
Unconsciously. Some of them, it's not out of bad will, but I want people to not feel the urge to ask others to do what they think is right. Kama unasikia wewe unataka kujaribu kuenda gym, weenda. Wachana na mimi, please. Kwa sababu zile broccoli nakula huwezi kula. You get, like, there's so many different ways.
Or the amount of walking you do.
Or even the amount of physical activity I do. You can't. Because you don't understand how people live. Unless you live with someone in the same house, you'd never understand. Because people tell you, you know, your face, what. I'm like, I don't take milk. That's why my face stays clear. Not because of milk, but milk triggers. So then I'm like, no, for me, I'm like, yeah, that's for you. I'm saying for me. You know, so stop asking people to do things because they worked for you or you want to experiment with them. This conversation is about reminding mothers that they were girls before they were moms. And maybe to Irene, as we wind up, what is it that you'd want to tell other girls and other moms, and what is it that you do for you to remain a girl as you're still being a mom to your boy at the same time? Because motherhood is not supposed to make you forget yourself. You're mama boy, but you're still Irene.
Yes, yeah.
You are Irene before everything else comes under that. So there's a lot of responsibility that falls on your shoulders, including being yourself. So someone will be like, you're very lazy. You stopped working. I'm like, you know, like there's a lot. Yeah. So what is it that you're doing, and something you'd tell other moms, other girls, that they can try? It's not a must. It's just what works for Irene to remain a girl towards this journey. Pia unajua mtoto akizeka, nyinyi wote simeacha wazazi wenu wako na nani? So when you stop being a mom yourself, what do you do?
Yeah.
What has worked for you?
What I will say, in my first year of being a mom, I've said now there are 3. So in my first year, I was at home all through, not voluntarily, but because of COVID. Now, after that, I started establishing structures. Now, that is when I remembered I am still a career lady. I still need to earn myself money. My baby is off this delicate stage because now he's 1+. Now, he started going back to find me. So I decided I would have, I have like a circle of friends. So I decided every month I'll be meeting with my friends. Because funny thing, this is a long conversation, but now funny thing is you also tend to find that as a mom, you lose most of your friends, especially those that are not in family. Ama mwenye hana mtoto, unafeel huyu hata ni understand.
Let me cut you short. Do you know every time a friend of mine gets a child, we kind of detach.
Yes.
I don't know what happens, and then I realize in like 3-4 months. Wait.
But funny enough, yeye ndiye atakuja kukutafuta.
You see, the thing is, I don't even push it. For me, in a backing, I didn't wrong them, right?
Yeah.
But I'm available if they want me, right? Or did I stop trying?
Yes.
Is that I neglected them? I'm not a bad friend, you know. But at the same time, like, okay, maybe I wouldn't understand.
But that's it. So when I discovered like I really need now to reconnect with Irene, who I was before I became Mama Someone, I actually also sought counseling. So it's okay to look for counseling. Ukienda for therapy ama counseling inamaanisha umechizi. You're not crazy. It's very normal to go even as normal as you are. If you feel okay, it's good to talk to someone.
Yeah.
So I also went for counseling, and this is when I got to know I needed to reconnect with my friends because they bring out some energy in you.
Yeah, you.
Yes. No, my counselor was like, what do you do for fun? And at that moment I was like, there's nothing I do.
My baby.
Yeah, I wake up, my baby, my
baby.
My partner,
In the evening, my baby. Sunday, my baby.
My baby. Like, I can't go somewhere because my baby. They're like, you can leave that child. So I started trusting my nanny. That I could leave them with the baby. The first time I left, I called 1,001 times. Then my nanny was like, unajua nini, kama sijakupigia simu, we are okay.
Yeah, it's the same thing I was telling you. I told my friend, by the way,
I'm okay.
If you're going to keep calling, imagine we are seated here watching, you've called 4 times. Now baby's like, ni mami. Like, stop calling.
So they start. Now I started trusting that someone else can take care of the baby well in my absence.
Yeah.
Because that separation anxiety is what makes moms have a difficult time leaving their kids. It's the anxiety. Sasa nikimwacha, atamchange diaper vizuri, atamwosha vizuri, atamfeed vizuri. Because you actually feel like you're the only one who knows how best. Many partners also quarrel. That's another story.
Yeah.
Because of that, and you find that a baby might bring people together or separate them. Because you also feel like the dad of the child afanyi vizuri. So it's moms to have the trust that the separation anxiety is normal, but have trust that someone else can care for this child as well as
good as you can.
So that way you'll have time for yourself. Go do things that you love most. If you want to watch a movie at Cinemax, go do it. If you want to do a walk, if you want to go for swimming, if you want to just hang out with friends, uende kwa mabeshte wako, kwanza wale wenye wako single, mpige nao mushene, usikie drama za relationships and everything. Like, be normal. So intentionally create time for you. If maybe you went back to work, enjoy time with your colleagues. Kama ni after 5 na unasikia colleagues are going for coffee, hata kama ni 1 hour, go for that coffee. If you're in business, enda ukae uko kwa biashara, mpige mushene.
Because Irene would still do that.
Yes, because Irene, if I didn't have the child, that is what I will be doing. I'll be doing road trips. I'll be doing every other time. If you're a nightclub person, go once in a while. It's perfectly normal and it's okay. Usiende club alafu najiuliza no. If you committed to church and used to serve in church, go back. Be that usher, be that church leader. Go to church. What you used to do as yourself before the baby came in,
keep doing it.
Reconnect to it. And that way, it will ease you up through this postpartum depression, through the whole journey, and you'll get to find you're also okay, you're doing it right. And funny enough, you inspire someone else.
Yes.
Because you're doing it, they can do it.
Yeah. And then for me, I think the fact that you've mentioned counseling.
Yeah.
And I call myself a big sister with little to no experience when it comes to motherhood, but with a lot of friends in the motherhood field, with a lot of friends in the marriage field, with a lot of friends in the divorced field, which is okay, in the separation field, in the single mother field. If you want someone to talk to and you can't afford a counselor, imagine just DM me. I'll find you someone. Lazima unaweza kuconnect na Irene na kwambia busikia.
It's normal.
And then the fact that mentioned, just because you've left your baby for a few hours, it's not forever. Trusting your nanny for just a few hours, maybe you want to go for swimming for 3 hours. Just become a member in a certain swimo, lipa for a month, so that you commit yourself. Because most times when we pay for something, inatufanya tunakumbuka nililipa, siwezi acha hiyo pesa ipotele. It's only 2 hours. Don't feel burdened, as long as you've lived with this person, umeona yenyewe akopoa. If you have this person in your house, then I think you can also trust them for a bit of 2-3 hours. Don't forget yourself. And most things, find something to do.
If you used to bake for fun.
For fun. Because I still keep doing that thing. I have a friend who bakes, anaitwa Asunta. Asunta started baking when she delivered as a pastime. Yeah. Right now she's doing big. I mean, just reconnect to yourself. And I've always had the trauma, ile siku nitapata mtoto, maybe I'll forget myself. Like I'm scared. I know. Kina sisi wenye tuko hii side ingine, when we listen to kina Irene and everyone else, just go scared about motherhood. If you really have the dream to become a mother, most girls are, there are those who aren't, be comfortable with it. Talk to them. But pia usiuziwe uoga, because watu wameuziwa uoga huku nje. Usipate cesarean, usipate vaginal delivery, usifanye hivi, usifanye hivi na hivi. So be yourself. Don't forget yourself. Always write your first name before you introduce yourself as mama. Mama who?
You are
Mama
you.
baby. Ati mimi ni mama nani? Oh, I'm Catherine. I have a baby.
Yeah.
I'm Catherine. That baby should recognize me as Catherine, who is also the mother. But I should not forget Catherine before everything else, because that's the epicenter. And if you don't have a fit mom, a fit me, how can I be a fit mom if I'm not fit, like mentally, emotionally, spiritually? No, usiache mtu kucontrol. We all have ways of living the same way you did engineering. Oh, I know Irene, she did engineering. Yeah, I can't do. Oh God, I would never do engineering. I did something totally different. The same way we had individualistic thoughts on how we should steer our lives ahead is the same way unafaa kukuwa with every other decision, be it relationships, be it marriage, be it motherhood, be it whatever it is you want to do.
Career.
Be you before you're someone else. So thank you guys. I hope you've enjoyed this conversation. We're going to be having many, many more. Please hit that notification button. We'll miss out on any other amazing conversation. I think at the end of a few months, I'll be ready. I don't know, but maybe. But
Well,
I hope.
for you.
That's a lie. You know that.
No.
It's a lie.
Not because you won't.
Oh. Not because you won't, but ni kubabysit ya coincidence. Si ile shiko nimekuachia mtoto.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm not saying I know I can trust my baby with you. That's what you mean, but not that you will babysit, but I know you can anyway. So guys, thank you so much for following. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Follow my Facebook page. If you want to share your conversation or your story and your journey with everyone else, feel free to DM me, to inbox me everywhere. I'll leave the number right here. You can text me and I'll reach out to you, okay? If you want to have a conversation and you're going, or you want to talk to someone, you want to unwind and you're going through something and you don't know how to go about it, please reach out. Usikose ku reach out. We are your big sisters. I may not be as experienced, but I'm a big sister. I still believe that I can hold out like a helping hand. I can lend a helping hand. At least naweza kushika tu ulie, because most times what we need to do is just vent. So thank you guys. See you in the next conversation. Bye.
Bye-bye.